DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, from the sky you can tell that I'm walking to work. So it's kind of early still. It's around 7 o'clock, something like that. And I'll be doing a SpookyUniversity, which had a title which could be actually very spooky. Geocaching alone, pros and cons. Well, when you're geocaching alone, this is often what it's like. There's nobody. Definition of being alone. But it's not like that all the time. Sometimes you're in a town, for example, geocaching alone, and you're surrounded by people, and you're the odd person out, doing weird things, being very noticeable. So, depending on the situation, it can be nice to have another person to deflect. Might be just taking a picture or something. One of the pros, I suppose. Now, are there other reasons? Of course there are. I mean, if you're walking alone in the woods, so like myself, I do a lot of geocaching alone. I don't know, it's hard to say. Probably, these days I probably do even more with Mrs. DC. In the beginning I did way more alone. But when you're out in the woods alone, it's good that people do have an idea where you might be. Of course, the fact that geocaching with a phone is always pretty good. I haven't even have a string on my phone. Oh, wait a minute, everybody. There's a geocache close to here. Okay. So, the hint, I think it's something like 1.60 meters. That's the hint, something like that. That's all the hint says. But what are about that height? If you look at, there's trees here, and they've got like trunks, don't they? All trees have trunks. But let me see. Can you see something here? Yeah, those are stones. What are stones doing in a tree? There might be something behind that. Well, there is, but I've done this geocache. It's mine. So I don't think that I will take it apart. It's been there now for a couple of years, and it's still there. And yet, where is it? It's right at a parking spot. Okay, but that's not the subject, is it? But geocaching alone, pros and cons. One of the pros for me, definitely, is actually being alone. I like being alone. I like thinking. I like taking my time. It's one of the things when you're alone, you can take as much time as you want. If it's searching for something that's difficult, it can take an hour, sometimes even more. Sometimes you got to come back. But, you know, if you're alone, nobody else is being annoyed or, you know, getting bored. That's one of the things. I can take all the time I want to take pictures, make videos, and so on. So yeah, there's definitely, in that respect, that's one of the pros. Another one is depending on who you're geocaching with. If let's say, abstract Mrs. DC, the times that I've been geocaching with other geocachers, which I happen to meet or what, you find out that they can be very competitive. You may, after a while, want to get rid of them, but you can't. They'll run and try and find the caches. I had one couple that I geocached with. The lady would kind of basically run in front of us and always, so to say, find the cache. And after a while, when she got kind of like tired, she'd turn around to us and say, wouldn't it be about time for you guys to find a cache? So, you know, depending on the characters of the people, that can be definitely a con. What is the other ones? Well, I guess there is the danger. Depending on where we are, it's not always safe. I mean, you can fall down. You can hurt yourself in ways that you don't expect it will happen. And then you're on your own. Like I think I was saying just before, I have on my phone is tied to a string which is usually around my neck. So if I do fall, at least the phone should normally stay with me. So that is one little security measure. Some people that I know only geocache with their GPSs, but they always have their phone securely close to them. They told me for similar reasons. Anyway, so that's one of the things. Pros and cons. So yeah, but I mean, of course, the other side is just if you're if you like to be with people, geocaching with people is a lot of fun, of course, depending on the quality of the group. But for myself, I've clearly found that over time, I much prefer either geocaching by myself or with Mrs. DC. Oh yeah, of course, one of the major pros to that is that when you're having a difficult geocache or stuff like that, well, 4 eyes are better than 2 at times. That is also something else. But really, that is, I know you could say it's a big point, and it is. I mean, it'll just maybe save the time. But frankly, overall, I sometimes find that, if you haven't found a geocache, it's nice to go back with somebody else and have an extra look. Very often the person will have another way, because in many things in life, I mean, we just kind of like always do things the same. So, yeah. So, is that it? Yeah. It's not a very, very long video, I guess. I don't know. I haven't even checked the time. Not very long. But that's about my take on geocaching alone. Is it a spooky thing? Well, you know something? It's funny. Depending on the time and places or what, and when you're geocaching, like I've been geocaching in caves or stuff like that. Yeah, it can be a spooky topic. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll be DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Have a good Tuesday. Bye-bye.